I do hope you're well. Really excited to have this instant live session with Dr. Asher Shaikh on German New Medicine. So I'm just going to wait for him to join. And we're actually going to be talking about something very interesting, which is to do with German New Medicine and the subsequent chain reaction that occurs. So we're looking at the physiological changes which often obviously lead to pathology or complex pathologies as such. So I had a very interesting time as far as German New Medicine is concerned, and it really is an absolute game changer as far as homeopathy practice is concerned. And the good news is that on December the 1st, next month, it's actually the 1st of November, isn't it, today? So, woohoo! So on December the 1st is going to be the first of many live international webinars on German New Medicine. And we're going to be introducing GNM and its application in homeopathic practice. We're going to be looking at the causative factors of disease according to the principles of GNM, which align beautifully with homeopathy itself. And we're going to be looking at the role of the psyche, the role of the brain, the role of the mind, brain, and then, of course, what the brain commands. And, that's the idea is really to simplify case taking, but in the most effective and proactive manner. So it's not about reducing the time necessarily it can take for case taking. It's about simplifying the process, because if your patient is made aware of why they are sick, what is going on, what was that original shock that resulted in all these biological changes, then it makes treating the condition or conditions so much more easier. And also talking to patients about something called a survival mechanism as well. So I'm just going to connect Dr. Asher Shaikh. I'm just doing that now. Here we are. This is not related to this conversation whatsoever, but here in the UK, in London, it gets dark around 4 p.m. because the clocks went back. So it's funny how that plays on your mind, isn't it? But anyway, I digress. Dr. Asher Sheikh from India, welcome. Thank you so much for joining this spontaneous Insta Live.
Thank you, Dr. Atik. It is pleasure always to be here.
I was just saying to the followers, the ones who are on live and those who will listen back, that this session is very much just an opportunity for them to understand the causative factors and the chain reactions within German New Medicine when it's applied to homeopathy, the importance of educating the patient on why something happened, why are they in a survival mode, what was the cause, what's the role of the psyche, what does the mind do to the brain, and why does the brain act in a certain way that physiological changes take place and then present themselves with pathologies, isn't it, different types, but yes,
Yeah,
over to you as such.
thank you. Thank you so much. It has always been my uh, thought process that if it is nature science, then it has to be easy to apply, and it should not have any hurdles. It can be picked up and replicated by anybody. So it's in this nature, and you just have to pick up how the nature behaves. And if the nature behaves that way, that means that becomes a survival mechanism of a human
Mm,
being. So if a person what we call as individualization, it's all about every person adapts in different ways. Okay,
mm,
so there is going to be a cause and the chain reaction in between for the survival, right? So the survival, what I now consider the disease word I have removed from my
mm,
dictionary. I consider is as ailments from, and then the chain reaction, and the survival mechanism, what we know, how he is surviving, which we give a name diagnosis or a name
Mm.
disease. So what you have to know is that chain reaction in between. And that chain reaction, how the patient goes through into survival, is what we have to pick up the rubrics from.
Right. So for those listening in, let's I mean, do please start with that. Let's talk about that. Um, the causative factor, the role of the psyche, and then what is that? An example, perhaps some examples of the chain reactions that occur that then result in this survival mode that the body finds itself in.
Okay, just to make it easily replicable for all those who are hearing us, and they can apply this in their clinic, is a lady who is working who is a government servant, and she came in with lot of joint pains and knee pain
Mm,
and osteoarthritis set in, and the uric acids were also high. So the case history was done. So I just thought, let's apply this. What exactly is going to be like uh, the ailment from, and the chain reaction and the survival. So I asked her, arthritis, it's a devaluation
mm,
conflict. Yeah. So when you have a devaluation conflict, naturally that becomes the ailments from. Okay. So
yes.
when it is ailments from, then what was the ailment happening to her? And mostly all her complaints were on the right side. So right side has to do, as we know, the coming problems are from work or father, or not the blood related people. So I said, tell me, what exactly is happening in the office where you feel devaluated and not worthy enough. You're
Mm,
treated that you are not worthy enough, or you feel that yourself. It's mostly your feeling, your perception, your delusion. So what is that? So she said, I am not appreciated, doctor. So I said, okay, there are too many remedies in being not appreciated. So tell me more. You are not being appreciated means what? So she said, Doc, my bosses, especially the immediately one above me, if I report to the one above him, then this guy feels offended,
mm,
and then he insults me, he criticizes me, and then he says something which all what I have done in the office and the things which I have done good for the office all these years, and my name, everything is lost. Okay.
right.
So this was a chain reaction, and what she was getting was arthritis. So I started with her own words: ailments from not being appreciated, ailments from reputation loss, sensitive to criticism which this person is this thing,
Mm,
and what has happened because of reputation, what happened because of reputation after the reputation is lost, that she desires to be respected, she's not respected. And then when I checked her legs, there were varicose veins, there were clots, and when I repertorized the whole chain reaction, the remedy only coming and covering all what I said now was Hamamelis.
mm,
Yeah. So the ailments from not being appreciated, she lost her reputation, she did not get respect, and she was criticizing. The survival mechanism was all what we have learned, devaluation. So in conflict active phase, devaluation leads to osteolysis, osteoporosis, and the conflict was going on and on. So she was there in hanging conflict, and no medicines, no steroids, nothing was helping, because every day in the office she was going through this. Every day she used to go to the office and come home. There used to be a chain reaction for survival. So what we are going to do is give hemambilis and stop the chain reaction.
It's very interesting because I'm sure some of the listeners listening would have thought the chain reaction was going to be the role of the psyche and that, initial conflict or that shock element, which would then manifest physically. But here, it's very much to do with the mental and emotionals purely.
Yeah,
That's the chain reaction, and then it's the adaptation to, the remedies themselves and which one matches the process. Because we know that bones are related in German medicine to self-devaluation conflict.
yes,
So that makes
yes,
that part very, very easy, isn't it? Because you don't have to then think, well, are there any more paths to self-devaluation? Because the patient's already told you those. Hmm? Yeah.
exactly. And the side confirms it. So cerebral medulla controls bones and joints. Cerebral medulla, if gets affected, is going to get affected by which emotion? Self-evaluation and self-worth conflict. The reaction or conflict active, where the sympathetic activity will go up, the adrenaline rush will
Mm.
go up. What used to give her adrenaline rush, and she used to run, her brain used to run, medulla used to run, her body used to get affected, fatigued, was because she was not appreciated. And all that fell right in hemamelis and then just went on confirming hemamelis, and that was the remedy.
It's brilliant, and also the way that you say it. Actually, I think that makes it the way that you're
Yeah,
explaining it. It's really good, but
yeah,
it it's the wonders of German new medicine. Like as we spoke on the podcast, and for those listening, Dr. Asher was on the Homeopathy Health Show. Just go to Google and type in Homeopathy Health or type in my name, and you'll find it on all the podcast apps or online, and you can listen to that. But that was part one of many, because we're going to do quite a few now of these. And also, we are doing the first of a number of webinars
webinar.
on December the 1st, Sunday, December the
Oh,
1st, will be the
yes,
first international webinar, which is to do with introducing German new medicine and homeopathy. So, German new medicine and its application in homeopathy. So, please don't miss out. Stay tuned to my Instagram socials, and you'll find that, and Dr. Asher Sheikh's Instagram socials as well. Um, do tell us more about, this survival mechanism is very interesting, isn't it? I mean, it's such a you can appreciate that word once you understand how GNM works and when you adapt it to
yeah,
homeopathy.
yeah. So in the same case, if this lady had an issue in the office and suppose she took a VRS and she retired or she left the job and stopped getting exposed to the environment, maybe the chain reaction would have been different,
Mm,
or the survival mechanism would have been different.
mm,
But she had to stay there because it's a government job. She cannot leave it. Her family depends on it, and they have their loans and everything. So they have to go through that chain reaction. And how they go through that chain reaction and survive is what we have to pick up. And it's so natural. So that's the reason I say German new medicine is nature. Homeopathy is all about nature. We just have to use them, combine them, because there were case history taken already for 2 hours. And the case history, normally what we take is in the case history, she said she feels not appreciated. She feels that at home there is a lot of work going on. She has to get up early morning, make everybody stiffen, run to the this thing, and then work there and face all these things, and come home, and then she comes late, so husband yells, the food is not
mm,
ready, the homework of children has to be taken. So all these things. So anxiety about household matters and all this thing. I was coming to Sapia also because that's one remedy which is mentioned, anxiety about household matters. So I was coming to that. But then German new medicine, what it has to say? It has to say right side is work and father. So nothing had issues were there with father and husband much. So husband was also devaluing, but that was not hurting her that much. She was okay. She used to love him. So that's coming from him is okay for him. What was making osteoporotic, making her osteoporotic, or what was making her going into the loss of the bone, which were making the tendons and the muscle stiff. So when the bones become weak, the muscle take over, they become more stiff, so the bone should not break. So what was it? So this was it. And uh, I mean, the smile comes in, automatic the smile comes in when you get this remedy and it goes and when you read it, it's all there what she is.
I was going to ask you, about observation, because we all take cases and different ways of styles of taking cases. And like I've mentioned, German new medicine has really revolutionized my case taking, certainly, and I can get to the root causation very efficiently. I
Yeah,
did earlier on say the word quick, but I didn't mean quick as in time wise. I meant quick as in rather than constantly thinking. But observation, Dr. Asher, is so important here, isn't it? Because
yes,
you mentioned the lady expressed her emotions and the state of, the things that she felt were affecting her. And sometimes we can miss that. So we really need to be switched on when listening
focused.
to our patients and observing, isn't it?
Yes, focus. And she had her sister who was a nurse, who was working in the civil hospital, who was coming along with her. And when she understood, yes, that this guy is giving reasons why she has arthritis, which nobody has given reasons, and they've just given
Mm,
painkillers and steroids, which have to be taken God knows till how many long. And normally she asked me one question, the nurse asked me one question. So they say homeopathy is to be taken lifelong, and it is a long treatment and it's slow. So I said, your sister is taking this medicine since how many years? So she said 3 to 4 years. And now she's got a little moon phase because of the steroid side
mm,
effects, water retention. So I said, did you ask your doctor who has prescribed this, all medicines to you, how long this is going to go on? So he said lifelong. And then who is slow? Homeopathy is slow or allopathy is slow or the conventional medicine is slow?
mm,
So, and forget about the slowness, or we're not criticizing anybody, but when it comes to homeopathy, the eyebrows are raised. When it comes to conventional medicine, nobody will ask them anything. So that's not right. And when I explained the whole concept, the chain reaction and the survival, she was like, oh my God, this is something great. She hurt.
I think this is where it all changes, when we're able to um, explain to our patients so precisely, so with such tune, that this is what's going on with you. That's all about empowerment. To empower the patient with knowledge of disease is so, so important. In our house, the flu was going around, okay? But we were able to go through the biphasic table. I was talking to the family. I saying, look, this is where you are. You're on PCLA, and now you're on PCLB, so you'll be fine.
Basically. Yeah.
You've had your epileptoid crisis of constant sneezing, for
Yeah.
an hour, and now you're in B. But as
Yeah.
funny as it sounds, these are the
Yeah.
conversations we have
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
home, right?
Yeah. So
But it's true, isn't
and
it? You
absolutely
know.
true. It's the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nerve activity. If you understand, you can understand whole of human nervous system
Mm.
and how it's going to respond, because that nervous system is going to control the organs, and the organs are going to respond according to that stimulation.
Absolutely. I've had so many conversations over the last several weeks where patients have come and, you let's say, I don't know, joint pains again, or back pain, etc. And when you link it to bones and self-devaluation conflict, and you ask them certain things, well, look, what happened when they started 5 years ago? And it's very much, oh, nothing, everything is fine, everything. Even this morning, I had this conversation with, excuse me, acne,
Yeah.
dermis related, and it was like, no, nothing, no attack, nothing, everything is brilliant. No one has ever said anything. We started talking. I said, okay, so let's talk. Tell me what was going on in your time. And it ended up being a slap on the face, not physically,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
emotionally, because something changed in her life and she didn't like it, and she
Yeah.
was forced to do something. And I said, this is what I was talking about. And they were so appreciative. They said, oh my God, now it makes sense. This is what GNM does when it's applied in homeopathy.
Exactly, and the location also matters. So if it's a forehead, only pimples, and nowhere else, it is 100% intellectual attack conflict.
Mm.
So your intellectual was attacked. So you are a chartered accountant, and a clerk came in and showed you your mistake. Is intellectual actual
Mm.
attack conflict.
It's
And how
amazing.
am I going to face?
Yeah, it really
Yeah,
is.
it's
It's just
amazing.
absolutely, it's absolutely amazing. I can't get
Yeah.
enough of it as well. So, do tell us about. I was actually going to ask you about Asher Clinic and how that's going. As far as GNM is concerned, I mean, I'm sure people want to know, what are you doing there and how busy is it? I know you've mentioned to me that it's absolutely packed all the time. I don't know how you do it actually, but
Yeah, I mean, by God's grace and His blessings of all elders and wishes of friends like you, it's amazing. And because we make people understand why they have this disease, we have, I mean, it is a unique thing. And there's a reason I have a waiting of 5 and 6 months.
wow.
I mean, 5 and 6 months in London is normal because there people, doctors don't meet that easily. But here, doctors can meet you anytime. But that people wait with that amount of advance given for that just to hear why they have this disease is GNM. So just a medical representative came in and he started that you prescribe my products and the supplements and this and that few days back.
Hmm.
And I said, no, no, all the supplement and everything is rubbish. Why do you do this? And he got hurt and he said, okay, I have little joint pains, but I have severe cramps. I get severe cramps at my work in my night also. I have taken magnesium glycinate. I'm taken all the supplements. I drink lots of water. I exercise. I expose to sun, but I am not able to get rid of this
Hmm.
cramps. So if you can help me that, I said, fine, okay, tell me about you. Oh, so cramps, so that something ringed in my head. Okay, he's getting cramps, means it is something to do with muscles. So he's being getting devaluated somewhere because it is not bones, it's minor devaluation. So that minor devaluation, I was asking him, tell me what is this devaluation and why you got offended when I told all these supplements and everything does not
Hmm.
work. So he said, that's the point, doctor. I cannot take anybody criticizing my product and my company. I have never left this company. I have got so many offers, but I've never left this company. I can die for this company and I have everything for this company and my products are such good. So anybody criticizes, anybody does this, it does not appeal to me. So something ringed in my mind that this guy is fanatic. And so I said, what do you want to do in this company? He said, I want to go at the top of this company and I'm already climbing the staircase. And I just cannot see anybody doing much better sales what I do in my territory. I will work day and night and do whatever. That's the reason I landed up to a homeopath because I saw that, okay, I have all other conventional doctors prescribing my medicine. So what extra I can do? So I thought, let me catch hold of a homeopath who can prescribe some of these medicines. So
Hmm.
that's right how I landed there. So I just took two rubrics, fanatism and ambitious, increase competitive. And then I asked him again the chain reaction. So that was the cause. The cause was ambition increase, very competitive. And then what was the chain reaction? He was fanatic and he was so particular in proving that himself that he's right, his products are right. So I just took fastidious, prove himself he has to. And we know a great cramp remedy, which we always use as a specific for cramps, that's cupramate.
Hmm.
So when I repertorized these three, cupramate came. And what am I treating? Physically, if you go, it is cramps. It is listed in so many cramp related
Hmm.
journals if you open in the rubrics. And I gave cupramate and he came in. Oh my God, can we make a product out of this remedy because I'm feeling so better? So I said, it will not work for you, everyone. It is only going to work for you.
Brilliant.
So he said, oh, that's homeopathy.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
Somebody is asked what repertory you use just here on the
radar,
chat.
radar synthesis, radar
Radar synthesis.
synthesis, and many times complete also, but mostly radar is a software, and the synthesis repertory is the one I use.
That's the same as me.
Yes,
Radar and
yeah.
synthesis. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Dr.
very
Khan
easy and very
just
clear to
replied.
me personally. Yeah,
Yeah, Dr. Khan
very easy to use.
just replied radar repertory. So in HHF, we usually all of our HHFian use radar,
Hmm.
and we discuss and study from radar mostly. And if we are sure of a remedy and we want to know more about the remedy, then we try to read it from Adonis, off radar, or complete repertory.
Hmm. That's the same. And also, anyhow, interestingly enough, I'm meeting Luke Norland in a couple of weeks. You know, Luke works on the Mapai Mundi on radar, so he's at the School of Homeopathy in the UK. So, looking forward to that. He's a good friend as well.
I can tell you one thing. I met Dr. Farooq Master, and he said maybe we can include these things of Germany medicine and everything in the software. So he's going to talk to Frederick Schreins, I
Yes,
think.
yes, Frederick Shines.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see how it works out. But this thing is what I missed telling you. So
That's really interesting
let's,
because Frederick is
yeah,
the creator of
yeah,
Adonis, you know, which was previously Synthesis. Now the latest version is
yeah,
called Adonis rather than
yeah,
Synthesis. But yeah,
yeah.
that really would be a move forward because then it's giving GNM out there to everybody who wishes to use it, you know?
Everybody, yeah.
And that is
And it will be in the
precise
repertory
cake
form.
taking.
Yeah, and it'll give you all this explanation of all the ailments from all the cause. What you have to find is just the chain reaction. And that
Wow,
chain
amazing.
reaction, if you can just, it's all stories. It's also the chain reaction is stories, and the survival is the end result of it. You don't go into chain reaction, you don't fall sick. You go
Yeah,
into chain reaction, you fall sick. And that's awareness.
the power of the psyche, huh?
Is the power of the psyche. You don't allow the psyche to get involved, your organs and the brain will not get damaged.
I'll tell you something funny. If it's
Uh,
raining and it's cold outside, this is true, by the way. Okay, this
yeah,
is how we are as a homeopathic family. As soon before we go out, if it's cold and raining, which it usually is in the UK, I love the UK, but it's always cold. Okay, but we always say we're not going to get a cold.
uh,
There's nothing wrong with us. We're very warm, and everything will be fine. And you know what?
yeah.
It's okay.
It works. Yeah, it works.
It
It's all
works.
your. It's
I don't
all
want to get sick,
your.
you know? I don't
Yeah.
want to go into that chain reaction, you know?
Yes.
It doesn't matter what I've been thinking, what I've gone through, I'm not going to get a cold.
Exactly. Exactly.
But it does
So
work. I'm being, you know?
it really works. So people say the dust, I have a dust allergy. Absolutely not. Last time when you fell sick 10 years back, you entered a dusty atmosphere and got sick. So that was registered in your brain, creating tracks.
Mm,
So every time you are into the dusty environment, your tracks get activated. And those tracks make you protect yourself by increasing your histamines. The histamines go up. The histamine going up, naturally you're going to sneeze on the slightest of dust or slightest bacteria, and then you say it is the dust. It is never the dust. It is a track.
I always think of tracks as if I was talking to somebody about this and they said, explain it a bit more. And I said to them, I said, imagine you heard a song from a Bollywood film from the 90s, Bazigar Kar Le, theek hai na? Kuch, you know, kabhi
Okay.
khushi. You will know
Yeah.
where you heard that song, where you were sitting when you watched that film, or what you were doing. It's a track because as
Exactly.
soon as you heard it, hai na, it comes into your head. All
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah. If it's
emotions come in, hai na,
all the
happiness or
emotions,
sadness.
yeah. So it's all psyche, the game of psyche. And
Mm.
this psyche is all going to express yourself through the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So you sleep well, the parasympathetic activity is there, you're going to recover, regain, survive better. If you just continue having sympathetic activity, there will be adrenaline, there will be histamine, there will be what? Taurine. All these will be secreted and they will have their effects on the enzymes and the hormones and the organs.
I have a question for you, actually. So many patients come with presenting with, you know, different disease states as such or pathologies, but majority of them suffer from insomnia or trouble sleeping. As a GNM mentor, how would you, for the purposes of education and everyone listening, you know, how would you explain that? specifically. So many people have it, Dr. Asher, Oh, I
Yeah,
can't sleep. I'm fed up. I can't sleep. I'm tired all the time because I can't sleep. I wake up at 2 a.m. and then I can't get back to sleep and
yeah.
so forth.
So, sympathetic and parasympathetic activity is affected by the circadian rhythm. Okay. If you can maintain that circadian rhythm, you will recover faster.
Hmm.
But if you have become a chronic insomnia is there and you're suffering from a chronic insomnia, the circadian rhythm is long gone. You have to take a lot of efforts to build it back. So you have to hit the bed at a particular time, which send a message to the sympathetic nerve that now I want to relax. And now to relax, you need to have a hot shower. You need to pray. You need to meditate. You
Hmm.
need to do yoga nidra and calm yourself down. So that sympathetic activity is going to go down. Now,
Hmm.
when it goes down, the first thing what you have to do is aware. Oh my God, now if I start thinking something or bring thoughts in my brain, this is going to affect my sleep. So you bring down those thought processes. Automatically, your sympathetic activity slows down. Gradually, you start shifting into the parasympathetic activity, which is relaxation and sleep. If you practice this for 21 days, any habit takes 21 days to leave your body.
Hmm.
If you practice this for 21 days, hot water shower, early dinner, dinner before sunset, hot water shower by around 9, a stroll around, and a dark room, a nice 432 megahertz. 432 is the healing music. 432 megahertz going on at the background, and doing yoga, nidra, and meditation and praying, you automatically shift to the parasympathetic area. If you do this for 21 days, the parasympathetic activity will be triggered immediately on the 21st, 22nd day. Then don't break the circadian rhythm and you'll start sleeping. So,
Hmm.
insomnia is not a disease, it's the effect of your habit of always being into sympathetic activity, not allowing body to rest.
Fascinating. Thank you. That was a very enlightening answer, and I think it's going to help a lot of people, a
Yes.
lot of people. Some of the things, that we face are just the way that we are in our lifestyle, isn't it? It's like when you're sleepy and you just keep playing on the phone using social media and feeds and videos, and you know that you've taken you an hour.
Yes.
Habit ki baat bhi
Have
hai,
it.
isn't it? Which is
Keep making posts, though you are tired and sleepy.
well, hey, that's important. That's a service to humanity for me. Hey, it's important to spread homeopathy. But I have good sleep. When I'm
That's
gone,
nice.
I'm
That's
gone.
nice.
That's it. I'm not going to wake up in
Yeah.
the morning.
No, I'm not pointing out at you.
It's an inside joke for those listening. But someone's got to do it, right?
Yeah, somebody's got to do it.
Dr.
Great.
Asher, it's an absolute honor always to have you on. And again, I will remind everybody, please note this date. Sunday, the 1st of December, will be the first of a series of webinars with Dr. Asher and his team on German medicine and its application in homeopathy. There's a lot of things to talk about. Stay tuned to my socials, and we're going to collaborate on so many different things now, and we look forward to seeing you there. But I'm sure we're going to talk before that anyway.
Yes, sure. Thank you. It was great talking to you. It's always a pleasure talking to you. The conversation and the whole thing is at so ease going on. Things come up. Otherwise, people are so tensed sometimes that they are going to be live, they have to present. But here it's a random talk and it comes out to be so good and beautiful.
It's nice to just talk and never have a script. I never use a script because
Yeah.
then, psyche. Oh, I must get this question answered, and you forget the whole conversation.
Yes. The anxiety,
Thank
the
you.
adrenaline shoot up. Yes. Great.
Thank you
It
so
was
much,
lovely talking to
Dr.
you.
Sab.
Thank you.
Grateful to you as always. And I can hear fireworks in the background. Is that right?
Yeah, it's Lakshmi Pujan and the main day of Diwali.
Ah, so happy Diwali, and which other one did you please remind?
Happy Diwali and a
Uh,
prosperous New Year.
Happy Diwali and a prosperous New Year to you and
All,
everybody
yes,
celebrating today. Thank you so much.
yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye bye.
bye. Bye.
Good
See
night.
you soon.